support comes from the South Dakota Agricultural Heritage Museum in Brookings, inspiring a passion for the diverse history, culture, and science of agriculture in South Dakota. To learn more about exhibits and events, you can visit agmuseum.com.
Welcome in to First Bank in Trust Arena. I'm Ben Anderson with Collegian Sports. We've got a good one for you today. The Jackrabbit volleyball team spring exhibition game. They're taking on the U of M. The Golden Gophers coming from Minneapolis here to Brookings to play the Jackrabbits in the first of two spring exhibition games for the Jacks today. Later they play Creighton all the way from Omaha. They'll be here at 3:30. In between these two games, Minnesota will play Creighton as well. And I will say a nice looking crowd here today on this Saturday morning. And Minnesota certainly does travel well, especially for this spring game. Minnesota has continually been at the top in women's volleyball, D1 collegiate play for decades, and here the Jackrabbits getting an opportunity to face off against this team in an exhibition match in Brookings. The Jackrabbits are head coached by Dan Georgalis. The Minnesota Golden Gophers head coach Keegan Cook. I'm Ben Anderson, so glad to have you alongside me here. And if you're in the Brookings area, this is a free event to all spectators. Definitely worth stopping by. The Jackrabbits only lost one regular season game this year. That was to St. Thomas, and then lost again in the Summit League tournament to USD, and lost in the NCAA tournament to the University of Miami. So only 3 losses for the Jackrabbits this year, and now getting a chance to play against the U of M. Kate Tybolt will serve for the U of M. That's dug up by Sylvie Zox, and Zox is going to get a chance to send it over into the blockers and to the floor. Sylvie Scotts is going to get the first point for the Jackrabbits. It's 1-0 to start off the first set. Now serving for the Jackrabbits, it is libero Jocelyn Richardson. Richardson tips the top of the net, and that's over. That's a service ace for Jocelyn Richardson. Just tipped the top center net there, right over, and the U of M not ready for that one. Jacks lead it 2-0 first set. Richardson again on the serve. That's to the far back corner. Madison Burr tries to get the block there, but it's Stella Swenson, the 6'1 redshirt freshman for Minnesota, that gets it across, and that's a kill for the Gophs. It's 2-1. The Jackrabbits by 1 in set number 1. Serving now for the U of M. Across, and that one dug up by Rachel Weber. Weber tip across. That's Annalie Ventling-Brown. The Gophs are going to send it right back. Weber to Martin. Martin sets up Burr. Burr sends it just outside of the left sideline, out of bounds. Ties us up at 2 apiece in the first set here. I apologize. There are a lot of new players playing for the Gophers, and they do not have their roster updated here for me, so bear with me as number 21 is now serving for Minnesota. There's a kill for the U of M as Richardson couldn't dig it up. It's 3-2. The Gophers on top by 1. Back across again. There's Richardson digging that one up. Martin sets up Scotts, and Scotts puts it into the blockers, and that one goes out of bounds off the block by the U of M, and it's tied up at 3 apiece here in set number 1 as Sylvie Scotts forces the error off the block. Serving now for SDSU, it's Aaliyah Schlimgit. Schlimgit across to the libero. U of M sends back a heater in the fashion of Georgia Lee, smacking that one down on the near sideline. Richardson couldn't quite dig it, and it's Gophers 4, Jackrabbits 3 here in the first set. Serving now for the U of M. It's number 12, Zenit Palyabek. Here is Schlimgin on the dig. Scotts gets set up for the hammer, and it's brought down. The Jackrabbits with a kill, ties it up at 4 apiece. Sylvie Scotts, who just got the kill, now behind the line, serving for your Jackrabbits. Scotts across that center court, dug up by the U of M. Here comes tip across and out of bounds. That one sent by Carly Gilk with the Gophers, and the Jackrabbits get the point. It's 5-4, Jacks by 1. Scotts still serving. Scotts across, that's deep out, and the Gophers are going to get the point there. Service error by Sylvie Scotts. Serving now for the U of M, it's Stella Swenson. Swenson, deep back behind the line, running up now, smacking it across, and that's Schlimgin on the dig. Martin's setting up the transfer, Caitlin Van Kirk. Van Kirk sends it across, that's dug up by the Gophers. Madison Burr tries to get it across, sent right back. Jocelyn Richardson diving for it. Burr sends another one down. That one's dug up immediately by the Gophers. Here is Martin getting up Burr again. Burr gets it across the net, and there's going to be a net touch there by SDSU. So the Gophers get the point off the error. It's 6-5 after that nice volley. The Gophers ahead by 1. Stella Swenson will serve again. Schlimgin bumps. Martin's going to bump it across. Here is Caitlin Van Kirk for the Jackrabbits. U of M sending a heater off. That's off the block, and it goes a little far for Sylvie Scotts to try to send it back in, and the Gophers get the kill there. It's 7-5 as the Jackrabbits down by 2 now in set number 1. Swenson still serving for the Gophers. Scotts to Burr. Burr sends it too far out the back line, and another point for the Gophers here. Gophers 8, Jackrabbits 5. It is still set number 1. Still serving for Minnesota, Swenson. Swenson to center court, that's Scotts. Martin on the direct set over. U of M trying to get something together now. It's a tip over. Diving, it's Jocelyn Richardson with an excellent dig. It's back on the U of M side. Here comes a heater. Sylvie Zonks bumps it up. Martin sets up Burr. Burr on the outside, tipping across. U of M sends back a spike. That's blocked up front by Madison Burr. Excellent block there by Burr, and it's now 8-6, the Jackrabbits by 2. Now serving for SDSU, it's Megan Roggenkamp. Roggenkamp, the sophomore from Rockford, Minnesota. Serving now, that's across center court. U of M ball, cross a tip across. Roggenkamp tries to get the bump, that gets sent in the net, and it is going to be Taylor Bile who tries to get under it. Not quite in the right position for that one. It's 9-6. The Jackrabbits down by 3, set number 1. Now serving for the U of M, it's number 19. That one's out the back line, and a service error there. It's 9-7. Again, I apologize. The U of M does not have their volleyball roster updated with the numbers. A few new players not on my roster sheet. Now serving for the Jackrabbits, it's Riley Martin, who last season got the single season service ace record for the Jackrabbits. This one's not an ace. It gets sent right back by the U of M into open space. Great ball position there, and the Jackrabbits aren't ready for that one. A kill for the Golden Gophers. It's 10-7 as the Jackrabbits are down by 3. Serving now, it's Kalissa Minity for the U of M. Caitlin Van Kirk, the transfer with the dig. Taylor Bile tries for the spike. That's no good. Riley Martin on the recovery. Bile gets blocked up by the net again. Martin has to dig it up. Scott sends a heater. That one's dug up by the U of M. Here's a tip across, and the Jackrabbits are going to get that point off of an error at the net. by the Golden Gophers. Now serving for the Jackrabbits, it's Rachel Weber. Weber on the near side. The fifth-year senior. And that one gets sent towards the crowd. An excellent recovery by the U of M, and Scotts gets up and spikes it down. The Gophers pulled that one out of the grandstands and back into play on the third hit. But Sylvie Scotts at the net, able to finish that one for the Jackrabbits. 10-9, Jacks down by 1. Here comes a heater. Rachel Weber gets under it, but it gets sent backwards into the stands. Gophers with the kill. It's 11-9. The Jackrabbits down by 2. Serving now for the U of M, it's Kate Thibault. Thibault serve across. That's to the far side corner. Weber digs it up. That's towards the net. A whistle and point awarded to the U of M. It's now 12-9. No NCAA officials here, just one net official on the near side. Weber with the dig off the service. Here's Martin, bumps it up for Scotts, who sends a heater across. The U of M scrambling now to get it back. That's bumped across. Free ball here for the Jackrabbits. Taylor Bile tipping across inbounds. And there's going to be a point for the U of M. Must have been some contact there with the net or ruled out of bounds. Not 100% sure. Again, exhibition game. Don't have the stats up on the board. Don't have the replays up on the board. And it's going to be Richardson here getting to Scotts. Scotts with another kill for the Jackrabbits. Sylvie Scotts had 551 points for the Jackrabbits this season. That's the most of any player. And also had 494 kills and averaged 4.37 kills per set. Served by the Jackrabbits, it's Richardson who tries to dig it up after the hit. Martin's got to get it over on hit number 3, and she can't do it as she was way off into the near side corner. And it's U of M point, 14-10. Jackrabbits down by 4. Now serving for the Golden Gophers, it's number 21. That's across and just inside the corner. That's going to be a service ace there as it was really close to the line. Going to be a timeout taken here by the Jackrabbits. Oh, excuse me, that's going to be the set for the Gophers, playing to 15 here today. And a timeout here for the Jackrabbits as well. We'll take it with them. Be right back here on Collegiate Sports in about a minute.
This portion of KSDJ 90.7's broadcast is brought to you by locally owned Brookings PowerQuest. Located in the University Mall at 820 22nd Avenue South, you can find everything your ride needs. From essential auto parts to top-notch accessories and customer service, PowerQuest is a one-stop shop for Brookings. Their phone number is 692-6298. PowerQuest is a proud sponsor of SDSU Student Radio, KSDJ 90.7.
Support comes from the South Dakota Agricultural Heritage Museum in Brookings, inspiring a passion for the diverse history, culture, and science of agriculture in South Dakota. To learn more about exhibits and events, you can visit agmuseum.com.
Welcome back in here to First Bank and Trust Arena. I'm Ben Anderson with Collegiate Sports. Madison Burr hammers it across, and the U of M can't dig it. A point here right off the serve after the timeout by the Jackrabbits. Madison Burr with the kill there. So glad to have you alongside us for this Jackrabbit exhibition game here on this beautiful Saturday morning in South Dakota. The Gophers lead the first set 15-11 as the scoreboard got a little confused right before the timeout. The set is not concluded. It is still the first set. The Gophers lead it. Just a timeout for SDSU. Although the scoreboard still reads one set for the U of M, although the scoreboard also says 16-11. The Jackrabbits down by 5. Scots tries to get it off out of the crowd, but that's touched by a member of the audience before Scots can get there. So point for the Gophers. 17-11. The Jackrabbits down by 6. Serving now is the libero for the U of M. Kill there for the Jackrabbits. And it's now 17-12. The Jacks down by 5. Sylvie Scots back to serve it for the yellow and blue. Scots across, that's back to the right corner. Dug up by the U of M, sending back a spike. Number 21 sends it out the back line. And the Jackrabbits with the point there. 17-13, Jacks by 4. Scots still serving. Scots, that's to the back right corner again off the arms of Kate Thibault, and it's a service ace for Sylvie Scots. Scots will still serve. It's 17-14. The Jackrabbits on a run here, down by 3. Scots back to that right corner again. Thibault digs it up. Here comes a heater sent across by Kalissa Manatee, and it's a kill for the Gophers. 18-14. Jacks down by 4. Now serving for the U of M, Stella Swenson. Swenson serves this one. That's dug up by Scots. Martin sets up Caitlin Van Kirk. Here comes a spike across, sent by Carly Gilk. The U of M with another kill there. Went right by Madison Burr, a little to her left. Gophers by 5. It's 19-14 in set number 1. Stella Swenson serving across. Slimgin with the dig. Martin setting up Burr. Burr tips across. That's dug up by the libero for the U of M. A block up front by Van Kirk. It's still on the Jackrabbit side. Sent back across by Van Kirk. And it's a kill for the Jackrabbits. 19-15. The Jackrabbits down by 4. Caitlin Van Kirk, the transfer out of Boise State, the 6'2 sophomore, joining the Jackrabbits for the next season. Madison Burr back behind the line to serve, the 6'1 sophomore from Goodhue, Minnesota. That one's into the top of the net, a service error there for Burr. 20-15, the Jackrabbits down by 5 now. And serving for the U of M, Jordan Taylor out of Houston, Texas. Dug up by Scots. Here's Martin setting up Bile on the outside. That's dug up by the Gophers and sent back the other way. Block up front by Bile, still on the Minnesota half. Here comes a spike across. One-armed it. It's Sylvie Scots. Van Kirk sends a spike back across, dug up by the U of M, and they're going to send one right back off the tip of the block and out of bounds. And the U of M awarded that point. It's 21-15. The Jackrabbits down now by 6 in set number 1. Service here from the U of M. Aaliyah Schlimgen gets there. Martin's setting up. Scots, she sends it a little far out the back line. 22-15. Jacks down by 7 now in set number 1. Putting up a good fight against this Big Ten school. Scots with the bump. Martin sets up Van Kirk. Van Kirk's blocked up front by Lauren Crowell, the 6'4 redshirt senior from Eagan, Minnesota. Minnesota still with the service. Schlemgen with a bump. Martin sets it to Van Kirk. Van Kirk can't break through the blockers up front. It's Kalissa Manatee this time, 6'1" junior out of Kansas City for the U of M. 24-15. It's set point here in set number 1 for the Golden Gophers. Sconce to Martin. Here's Bile with the spike across off the fingertips of Zenip Paljabic for the U of M, and the point awarded to SDSU. It's 24-16. The Jackrabbits down by 8 here in set number 1. It's still set point for the U of M. Riley Martin with the service. That one bumped up a little wild by the U of M. They get a spike across. Richardson on the dig. Here's Van Kirk across with the kill. The Jackrabbits get that point. 24-17 now the score. And Riley Martin will still serve as the Jackrabbits are down. Martin across the line. Dug up by the Gophers. Set across. Ventling Brown to Richardson, setting up Van Kirk. Van Kirk into the block, back into the Jackrabbit end. Here's Sconce tipping across. That one set up by the Gophers. Here comes a spike into the blockers, and the point awarded to the Jackrabbits. Off the block there up front. And it's still Riley Martin serving. It's 24-18 in the first set. The Jackrabbits down by 6. Martin sends it across. That one bumped up. The Golden Gophers setting up the spike. Here's a block up front by Bile and Ventling Brown. Coming again on the same side, tipping across. It is Sconce with an excellent dig. Martin brings it back into play. Bumped across by Richardson. Free ball for the U of M. Here comes a tip across, and that's right through the block. And the set is going to be won by the Gophers here. 25-18, the first set goes to the U of M. And we'll take a break. Be right back here for set number 2, the Jackrabbits exhibition game versus the U of M. Be right back.
This portion of KSDJ 90.7's broadcast is brought to you by D.O. Bike and Fitness. Located at 1738 6th Street in Brookings, South Dakota, D.O. is a place for all things bikes. Offering top brands such as Trap and Electra, this close-to-campus store has both bike and e-bike options. Remember, you can't buy happiness, but you can buy a bike, and that's pretty close. 692-2022 is the number to call for this full-service and sales store. D.O. is a proud sponsor of SDSU Student Radio KSDJ 90.7.
So what's a great way to spread awareness that driving high is illegal everywhere? A catchy song, of course.
You can run, but you can't drive high. You can run, but you can't drive high.
Friendly reminder, don't drive high. If you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Welcome back in here to First Bank and Trust Arena. I'm Ben Anderson with Collegiate Sports. So glad to have you here alongside me in Brookings for this Jackrabbit exhibition volleyball tournament here. The U of M facing off against the Jackrabbits right now. The Gophers took set number 1, 25-18, just about ready for set number 2 here. And later today, the Gophers will play Creighton right after this at 1:30. And after that game, the Jackrabbits face off against Creighton at 3:30. We'll have that game for you right here on Collegiate Sports if you're interested in following along through that one as well. Quite a good crowd here in Brookings as the U of M travels pretty well for volleyball. The Jackrabbits faithful here as well in attendance for this free event here in First Bank and Trust Arena. If you're in the area, definitely check it out. An amazing program here that SDSU has built this past season for volleyball. Made it to the NCAA tournament with an earned bid. Did not win the conference title, but still able to participate in the tournament. The team was that good this year. Only dropped one game in the regular season to St. Thomas. Now getting the opportunity to play these big schools like the U of M, Creighton, and later this year on May 3rd, playing Nebraska in Ord, Nebraska. Of course, the Husker volleyball team, famous across the country. The Jackrabbits will face off against them. Trying to get that one on Collegiate Sports for you. We'll see what happens there. Riley Martin will start off with the service for the Jackrabbits in this set number 2. Fortunately, Sydney Shetnan for the Jackrabbits in warm-ups. Not going to see her today. Spike across from the U of M. First point goes to the Gophers as the Jackrabbits can't dig it. It's 1-0. Gophers ahead. And the U of M will have the service. This one across, dug up by Scotts. Here's Martin to Burr. Burr spiking across. Third hit here for the Gophers. They're able to just bump it across. Free ball for the Jackrabbits. Martin to Burr again. Burr lays it down. That one's right back across to the Jackrabbit side. Van Kirk gets blocked up front by Lauren Crowell again. And the U of M gets that point. It's 2-0. Jacks down in set number 2. Lost the first set as well. Serve there, goes out of bounds. And the Jackrabbits get the point off the service error. Still 2-1. Jacks down by 1. It's going to be Rachel Weber serving now for the yellow and blue. Weber's serve is across, and a service ace here for Rachel Weber as the Gophers can't get under it. Nice ace there for Weber. She had 28 service aces in the regular season this year. That one across. Ventling Brown tips it back over off of a block. And the kill there for Annalie Ventling Brown. It's 3-2. The Jackrabbits now take the lead of 1 in the second set. Rachel Weber still serving for the Jackrabbits. Weber's serve is good across to center, picked up by the libero, sent back across by the Gophers. That one's a heater just inside the near side corner. The Gophers really good at ball positioning off of spikes. They aim for those back outside corners. And the Jackrabbits often let those go in the hopes they go out of bounds. Weber picks up the serve. Martin to Burr. Burr over to the Gophers side. They're able to somehow keep it in play. Weber with the bump. Martin to Burr. Burr spiking across. And the kill there for Madison Burr. It's 4-3. The Jackrabbits by 1. What an amazing player. Madison Burr came in this year as a freshman, now a sophomore for the Jackrabbits. Had an amazing season this year. Service by Weber. Here comes the spike across by Lauren Crowell. And the kill for the Gophers ties us up at 4 apiece in set number 2. Serving now for the U of M, Georgia Lee. Across now, picked up by Scotts. Here's Martin to Ventling Brown on the outside, laying it down in center. An excellent kill there by Ventling Brown. It's now 5-4 as the Jackrabbits take the lead of 1 in set number 2. It's Aaliyah Schlimgen serving now for the Jackrabbits. Picked up by the libero for the U of M, tipping across. That one picked up by Weber. Here's Martin. Martin to sconce with a tip across the block. That one barely dug up by the Gophers. Here comes a spike across. It's Richardson. Martin bumps it up, and Richardson has to bump across. Free ball for the Gophers. Look out. Here comes a spike off the tip of the block. Here is Martin setting up across the net. Direct set by Martin. Coming right back the other way. Martin setting up Taylor Bile. Bile tips across. The Gophers get set up right again. That one inbounds by a tick. And that one going to be awarded to the Gophers. Ties us up at 5 apiece. And again, no NCAA officials here. I don't know if that one was the correct call, but it's an exhibition game. And Richardson can't get it across as multiple Jackrabbits dive for that serve. An ace that time by number 19 for the Gophers. It's 6-5. Jacks down by 1. Here's Sylvie Sconce. Martin sets up Sconce. Sconce gets blocked up front. Richardson bumps it up. Tipped across by the Jackrabbits. The Gophers get a chance to set it up. A tip. Sconce has to send it right back. That one goes out of bounds. The Gophers last touch. Tied up at 6 apiece as the Jackrabbits get the point there. Sylvie Sconce will serve for SDSU. Again, I apologize. The Gophers do not have an updated roster on their website for the numbers, so some players are not on there. That one spiked out of bounds into the shoe of head coach Dan Georgalis for the Jackrabbits, sent by the U of M. The Jackrabbits take the lead by 1. It's 7-6 in set number 2. Sylvie Sconce still serving. That one tips the top of the net and across, and it's going to be a service ace for Sylvie Sconce. Almost error turns into an ace for number 10, the Jackrabbits, Sylvie Sconce, who had an amazing year. Sconce still serving this one across, picked up by the libero for the U of M. Set up the spike inside that near side corner again. The U of M positions that volleyball just inbounds and gets themselves the kill. It's now 8-7. The Jackrabbits by 1 in set number 2. Serve coming in here by Olivia Swenson for the U of M. Van Kirk tipping across, and that's going to be a kill for Caitlin Van Kirk and the Jackrabbits. It's 9-7. The Jacks by 2 now in set number 2. The libero for the Jacks, Jocelyn Richardson, will now serve. Richardson off the back line. That one to center. This sent right back across. Richardson gets her hands on it. Caitlin Van Kirk sets it to the back row for the U of M. Here comes a spike back across by the Gophers, and Aaliyah Schlimgen can't get a good angle on it. That one gets sent out of bounds. Her last touch. Point for the Gophers. It's 9-8. The Jackrabbits by 1. It is set number 2. The Jackrabbits lost set number 1, 25-18. Serving now for the U of M, it is Stella Swenson. That's across to Sconce. Martin direct set over. That's sent right back. Here's Madison Burr spiking into the block, sent right back to the Jackrabbits. They have to send the Gophers a free ball. This one dug up by Jocelyn Richardson. Here's Sconce. This one bump across by Van Kirk. Here comes a spike by the Gophers, diving for it. It is Sconce. She can't get a good angle on it. And it's now tied up at 9 apiece with the Gophers getting the kill there. Set number 2. Stella Swenson still serving for the Golden Gophers. Off the back line. This one over to Sconce. Here Van Kirk has to set it across. Gophers tipping to the back row, and Richardson couldn't get quite under it. Off the service, it's Leah Schlimgen and Sylvie Sconsu get into a miscommunication, ended up giving the Gophers a free ball there, set up the spike, and resulted in the kill for the Gophers. It's now 10-9. Jacks down by 1. Martin sets up Burr. Burr tries to tip to the outside. Blockers get a hand on it. And Schlimgren can't get outside there for the recovery. Gophers with the kill there. It's 11-9. The Jackrabbits down by 2 now, set number 2. Stella Swenson out the back for the Gophers, still serving. This one across, picked up by Scotts. Here's Riley Martin setting up Van Kirk. Van Kirk gets a block up front, but that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Gophers off the block, and it's 11-10. The Jackrabbits get the point there. Riley Martin will be serving for the Jackrabbits again. Led the team in service aces, got the service ace single season record for the Jackrabbits this year. Ventling Brown tries to get the block up front. Madison Burr with the recovery. Spike across. Caitlin Van Kirk can't penetrate the block again. The Gophers dominant up by the net. 12-10. The Jacks down by 2. It's still set number 2. Serving now, Lourdes Meyer from the U of M. Excuse me, that's not Myers. It's number 21, not on my roster sheet. Kill for the Jackrabbits. There, it's 12-11. The Jacks down by 1. Rachel Weber comes in to serve it. Weber, that one picked up by the libero for the U of M. Here comes a spike, back across, it's Annalie Ventling Brown up by the net with the block. Jacks get the point. It's 12-all here in set number 2. The Jackrabbits able to put up a fight against this Big Ten school, who has dominated volleyball over the years. Here comes a tip across by the Jackrabbits. That one hits the floor. It's multiple Jacks dive for that one. 13-12, the Gophers regain their lead here in set number 2. Palabaik, the libero for the U of M, will serve. This one picked up by Weber. Here is Martin. Martin to Scotts, and Scotts sends a heater across the line. Kill for the Jacks and Sylvie Scotts. 13-all in set number 2. It is going to be Megan Roggenkamp serving now for SDSU. That one across. Picked up by the U of M. Here comes a spike, and that one came in fast across the face of Riley Martin, who couldn't get under it in time. 14-13, Jackrabbits down by 1 here. Now serving is Georgia Lee, the setter for the U of M. Lee's serve across. That's the back line. Weber able to dig it up. That one was close. Here comes a spike into the block. That's Taylor Bile and Sylvie Scotts, the kill for the Jackrabbits. Excellent block up front. Taylor Bile, the middle blocker. She's 6'3", the redshirt freshman out of Sioux Falls. And Sylvie Scotts, an amazing player outside hitter, 5'11" junior from Hartford, Wisconsin. Service there by Schlimgen. It's 14-all. And now the Gophers get the kill there. 15-14. Jacks down by 1. Number 19 serving again for the U of M. That one's out the back line. Service error for the Gophers. Ties us up at 15 apiece again. Back to serve for the Jackrabbits. It is Sylvie Scotts. Scotts sends that one hard out the back line. A little far there. 16-15, Jacks down by 1 now. It's still set number 2. number 17 serving for the U of M. This one to Aaliyah Schlimgen. That one tips over the net and out of bounds. Schlimgen sends that one just a little too close to the net off the bump there. 17-15, Jacks down by 2. Here comes the service. Sylvie Sconce with the bump. Sets up Martin to Bile, and Bile on the outside spikes it down. It's 17-16. The Jackrabbits only down by 1 in set number 2 against this Big Ten school. Jocelyn Richardson, the libero for SDSU. That one sent to the back line off the service. Here comes a spike across. Richardson on the dig. Martin sets up Caitlin Van Kirk. That one off the blockers and out of bounds. Caitlin Van Kirk forces the error by the U of M. 17 all in set number 2. This one coming down to the wire as Jocelyn Richardson still serves. Richardson sends that one to the back line. Picked up by the libero for the U of M. Direct set over on hit number 2. Riley Martin to Caitlin Van Kirk. Does it again. Into the blockers. Van Kirk sends it. It's 18-17 as the Jackrabbits lead by 1 in set number 2. The U of M takes their first of 2 timeouts here. We'll take it with them. Be right back here in about 30 seconds on Collegiate Sports.
This portion of KSDJ 90.7's broadcast is brought to you by locally owned Brookings PowerQuest. Located in the University Mall at 820 22nd Avenue South, you can find everything your ride needs. From essential auto parts to top-notch accessories and customer service, PowerQuest is a one-stop shop for Brookings. Their phone number is 692-6298. PowerQuest is a proud sponsor of SDSU Student Radio, KSDJ 90.7.
Welcome back into First Bank in Trust Arena for the Jackrabbit Spring Volleyball Tournament. The Jackrabbits lead set number 2 by a narrow 1 point. It's 18-17. The Jackrabbits again up by 1. They lost set number 1 to the Gophers. That service by Jocelyn Richardson a little wide to the right, out of bounds, and the service error there. Point awarded for the Gophers. It's 18 all in this narrow set, number 2. I'm Ben Anderson, Collegiate Sports. So glad to have you alongside us here. Stella Swenson across. Here's Madison Burr, who gets a piece of the net. Can't get it across. No, again, there's going to be a net violation or possibly touched by the U of M before going out of bounds. Anyways, the Jackrabbits get the point there. It's 19-18 as the Jackrabbits up by 1. Riley Martin on the service. The U of M sets up the spike. Here it comes, and Jocelyn Richardson dives to the right. Gets one arm on it, but can't get a clean dig on that one. Ties us up again at 19 apiece here in set number 2. Serving now for the U of M, number 21. I apologize, do not have the name on the roster from the Gophers. Here's Venling Brown, who sends a heater into the Gophers, and they can't dig it. 20-19. That one assisted by Riley Martin. The Jackrabbits lead it by 1. In set number 2, it's 2019. Rachel Weber serving for the Jackrabbits. The U of M sending a heater. Jocelyn Richardson digs that one up. Martin sets up Sconce, and Sconce runs into the brick wall. That is the U of M front line. That one blocked by Callie Ingeman, the middle blocker, 6'1", redshirt senior from Excelsior, Minnesota. And again, Lauren Crowell, who's been a problem for the Jackrabbits all day, 6'4" redshirt senior from Eagan, Minnesota. Richardson gets it just across the net. Inbounds. The U of M sends back a fast spike into the arms of Martin. Scott sends a spike across. That's out the back line, out of bounds. Point for the Gophers. 21-20. The Jacks down by 1 in set number 2. Coming down to the wire here in this middle set. Service by Minnesota. Here is Martin to Ventling Brown. Gets it across. Minnesota digs it, sending back a spike. There's Burr on the block, and Madison Burr able to make something happen up front for the Jackrabbits. Ties it up 21 apiece here. Again in set number 2. The Gophers won set number 1. Megan Roggenkamp will serve for the yellow and blue. Roggenkamp's service, that's to the middle. And that one's going to be a service ace for Megan Roggenkamp. 22-21, the Jackrabbits take the lead of 1 in set number 2. Roggenkamp still serving. This one across to the middle. Blocked up front by Bile and sent right back by Minnesota into empty space. Ties us up 22 apiece. Gophers with the kill. Narrow second set between these two teams. Serving is Lauren Crowell for the U of M. This one's across here. Sylvie Scotts. Martin to Ventling Brown on the outside. Sets it down in empty space. Excellent position there for Annalie Ventling Brown, assisted by Riley Martin on that one. 23-22. The Jackrabbits up by 1. Need 2 more to take the second set. Aaliyah Schlimgen will serve for SDSU. That one barely clears the top of the net, but it's over. The U of M sends it right back. Martin sets up Sconce, and Sconce sends a heater into the arms of Paljabik. The libero for Minnesota gets the kill there. 24-22. The Jackrabbits are about to take the second set. It's set point in set number 2. Timeout taken by the U of M, their last timeout of the set. We'll take it with them. Be right back here in about 30 seconds on Collegiate Sports.
Support comes from the South Dakota Agricultural Heritage Museum in Brookings, inspiring a passion for the diverse history, culture, and science of agriculture in South Dakota. To learn more about exhibits and events, you can visit agmuseum.com.
Welcome back into First Bank and Trust Arena for this spring exhibition game. The Jackrabbits facing off against the U of M. I'm Ben Anderson for Collegiate Sports. So glad to have you with me here for this one. It's 24-22 set point for the Jackrabbits in set number 2. As Aaliyah Schlimgen will have the serve for the yellow and blue. The Jackrabbits lost the first set to the U of M 25-18. Schlimgen across, that's to the back row for the U of M. Here comes a spike across, that's into the block, and it's Weber who gets it back across. Martin sets it across. Martin setting up Sconce now. Sconce into the block for the kill. The Jackrabbits take set number 2 over the U of M. (25-22). They take a set off the Golden Gophers here in Brookings. Tied up 1-1. The Gophers took the first set. We're at least playing to 4 here today in Brookings. I'm excited for it. The Jackrabbits have started to heat up here through this one. So glad to have you here with me in Brookings. It's such a privilege to be able to broadcast Jackrabbit Volleyball here for you in the spring tournament. We'll take a break here. We've got about a 2-minute wait until set number 3. We'll be right back here on Collegiate Sports for that action. Make sure you don't miss out. We'll be right back.
They are our cuddlers and coworkers, purr machines and love bugs, and constant companions. They are our pets, our family, and they make life so much better. When we face unexpected challenges in life, so do our pets. That's why we're on a mission to support people who love their pets and the pets who love their people, ensuring these families stay exactly where they belong, together. And you have something to offer. With an open heart and mind, there is nothing you can't do. There's no gesture too small or too big when it comes to helping. Whether donating a bag of kibble, sharing an Instagram post of a lost cat, or welcoming a foster pet into your home, every bit of kindness counts. You can help keep pets and people together. Visit petsandpeopletogether.org to learn how to be a helper in your community. This has been a public service announcement brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
This portion of KSDJ 90.7's broadcast is brought to you by locally owned Brookings Park West. Located in the University Mall at 820 22nd Avenue South, you can find everything your ride needs. From essential auto parts to top-notch accessories and customer service, Park West is a one-stop shop for Brookings. Their phone number is 692-6298. Park West is a proud sponsor of SDSU Student Radio, KSDJ 90.7.
Welcome back to First Bank in Trust Arena, the new stadium for the Jackrabbits as of this year, right in Brookings, South Dakota, on this beautiful Saturday morning in South Dakota. I'm Ben Anderson with Collegiate Sports. So glad to have you alongside us for this one. About to get set number 3 underway. The Jackrabbits just took set number 2 in a narrow battle, 25-22 over the Gophers. The Gophers winning set number 1, 25-18 over the Jackrabbits, and we're now tied up at 1 set apiece through this one as the Jackrabbits face off against this Big Ten school from Minneapolis. Just about ready here for set number 3. The Jackrabbits have Madison Burr, Riley Martin, Sylvie Scotts, Aaliyah Schlimgen, Rachel Weber, and Jocelyn Richardson out on the floor. Set number 3 ready to get underway. Minnesota starts with the service. It's Paljevic for the U of M. Weber there. Martin sets up Scotts on the near side. Scotts into the blockers. And the Jackrabbits started off here with the first point. 1-0 in set number 3. The Jackrabbits off to a hot start here as Riley Martin will now have the serve. Martin from the far side corner. That's to center back row. Diving, it's Richardson who keeps it alive. Martin pops it up for Madison Burr, who tips across. The U of M sending another spike, that one out of bounds, and the Jackrabbits get the second point of set number 3. Riley Martin back to serve once again. Martin from the back line. This one across the U of M into the blockers. That's Madison Burr. The U of M still has possession. This one comes across. Rachel Weber pops it up. Martin gets one hand on it. It's recovered by Sylvie Scotts. Free ball here for the U of M. Here's a tip across. There's Madison Burr keeping it alive. Scotts finds the net and can't get it across. Point for the Gophs there, first of set number 3. It's 2-1. The Jacks by 1. with the service. Number 21 for the Golden Gophers. This across, here's Rachel Weber. Madison Burr with the hammer across into the block. Sent out of bounds. The Jackrabbits with the kill. It's 3-1. The Jackrabbits by 2. Sylvie Scotts is going to be serving this one. Scotts across. Narrow across the middle of the net. The U of M's on it. Block up front. Annalie Venling-Brown and Madison Burr on the far side. Set it down in the U of M territory. It's 4-1. The Jackrabbits by 3 in set number 3. Sylvie Scotts will be serving once again. This one to the far left side. Tipping across the U of M. Here is Martin, sets up Annalie Venling-Brown with the kill. The spike across into open territory. The Jacks off hot in set number 3. It's 5-1, and the Gophers are going to take a timeout here early in this one. So, Gophers take a timeout. A minute here. We'll stick through this one. The Jackrabbits having an amazing third set here against the Gophers. It's 5-1 in this exhibition game. The Jacks by 4. Amazing night for Sylvie Scotts, who led the team this season in kills, 494 for her. And Riley Martin having an amazing game, the setter for SDSU. And she averaged 6.41 assists per set. She has 724 assists for the Jackrabbits this season. Amazing stat leader. The best team player there for the Jackrabbits, the setter, Riley Martin. Sylvie Scotts back to serve it once again. This one picked up by the U of M. Here comes a heater across. Madison Burr gets the block, and the U of M digs it up. Here comes again Venling-Brown with the block this time. The Gophers trying to get anything across. They have to tip above. Jocelyn Richardson with the dig. Here comes Katie Van Igdam out the back. Touched by the blockers and out of bounds. The kill for the Jackrabbits. Katie Van Igdam gets that one. It is 6-1. The Jackrabbits by 5 now in set number 3 as Sylvie Scotts back serving still for the Jackrabbits. This one picked up by the Gophers. Here comes a spike out of bounds sent by Lauren Crowell. And the point for the Jacks again. It's 7-1. The Jackrabbits by 6. Sylvie Scotts serving still. The Jackrabbits on a 6-point run now here in set number 3 over the Gophers. Scotts sends that one into the net. Service error there for the Jackrabbits. Good run there for Sylvie. It's 7-2. The Jackrabbits lead it by 5. And serving now, Chloe Ning. Here is Richardson on the dig. Scotts to Van Igdam. Van Igdam with the hammer across. That one's dug up by the U of M. Venling-Brown pops it up. It's hit number 3. Sylvie Scotts bumps over. Free ball for the Gophers. Here comes a spike across into the hands of Madison Burr up at the net. That one falls right in front of her after the block on the Jackrabbit side. So point for the Gophers, 7-3. Jacks by 4 here in set number 3. Chloe still serving for the U of M. Venling-Brown spikes across into the blockers. The kill for the Jackrabbits off the error on the far side by the Gopher block. It is now 8-3. The Jackrabbits by 5 here in set number 3. Tied up, it's 1 set apiece for both teams here. U of M already burned one of their 2 timeouts. Madison Burr will be serving. Burr gets to the back row, and it's a service ace for Madison Burr. That's to the back line. That was Palibik, who changed out of her libero jersey, now wearing white and maroon. Couldn't pop that one up. Madison Burr still serving. This one, the Gophers can get a grasp of. Send a spike over. That's Martin with the dig. Sconce over to Van Igdam, who pops it back in bounds. A little inaccurate of a set there by Martin, and here comes a spike across. Martin can't dig that one. Sent by number 17 for the Gophers. I apologize, do not have her on my roster. Stella Swenson will be serving for the Gophers. 9-4 is the score. The Jackrabbits by 5 in set number 3. Van Igdam with the bump. Martin sets up Ventling Brown on the outside. Sends a heater down. Ventling Brown gets another opportunity off the free ball. Another free ball here for the Jackrabbits. Martin sets up Ventling Brown again. That one into the blockers and ends up on the Jackrabbit side. Point there for the U of M. It's 9-5. The Jacks by 4 in set number 3. Serving still for the Gophers, Stella Swenson. Swenson out the back, that's Sconce. Here's Martin setting up Van Igdam. Van Igdam across. And here comes a spike across by number 17 again for the Gophers into the blockers and down on the Jackrabbits side. 9-6. Jacks by 3 in set number 3, starting to lose their lead here. Stella Swenson over. Here is Sconce. This one, Bile gets over into the blockers, and the kill for the Jackrabbits. Taylor Bile on that one. Aaliyah Schlimgen will be serving now for SDSU. It's 10-6, the Jackrabbits by 4. Schlimgen, and that's to the back row. Here's the U of M spike. That's off the tip of Van Igdam. Here's Sconce, bump. Martin sets up Bile, tipping across. The U of M sets up the tip across, and that one's a point for the Jackrabbits as it goes out of bounds. 11-6. The Jackrabbits lead this one by 5, and it forces the U of M to take their second timeout of the set. They have 0 timeouts remaining. We'll take it with them. Be back here in about 30 seconds on Collegiate Sports.
This portion of KSDJ 90.7's broadcast is brought to you by D.O. Bike and Fitness. Located at 1738 6th Street in Brookings, South Dakota, D.O. is a place for all things bikes. Offering top brands such as Trap and Electra, this close-to-campus store has both bike and e-bike options. Remember, you can't buy happiness, but you can buy a bike, and that's pretty close. 692-2022 is the number to call for this full-service and sales store. D.O. is a proud sponsor of SDSU Student Radio KSDJ 90.7.
Welcome back in to First Bank and Trust Arena for the third set here. After the timeout by the U of M, they have no timeouts remaining. It's 11-6, and the Jackrabbits are ahead by 5 here in set number 3. We're tied up 1 set apiece between these two teams. The Gophers take set number 1. The Jackrabbits take a narrow set number 2, and the Jackrabbits leading here in set number 3. Serving for the yellow and blue, it's number 14, Aaliyah Schlimgen. Schlimgen to the back row. The U of M sets up the spike here. Coming in, Sconce pumps it up to the scoreboard, and it is Van Igdam who gets a chance to spike it across. Tip coming in here and dug up by Van Igdam. That one to Sconce, who sends a spike a little far out the back line. 11-7, Gophers get that point. The Jackrabbits lead by 4 here in set number 3. Serving for the Gophers is number 19. Here is Scots with the bump. Martin to Bile. Bile tipping across. And that one back over. Scots to Van Igdam. Van Igdam into the out-of-bounds pole on the net. Point awarded for the Gophers. 11-8. The Jackrabbits lead dwindling here. They're up by 3. And Scots gets it awkwardly off the dig there, off the serve. Service ace there for number 19. That's her second of the day. I apologize, do not have her name on the roster. 11-9. The Jacks lead now down to 2. Scots, Martin, Van Igdam into the blockers and down on the Gophers side. Kill for Katie Van Igdam. It's 12-9, and the Jackrabbits by 3. Rachel Weber is going to be serving now for the Jackrabbits. It's set number 3, tied up at 1 set apiece for both of these teams. Weber tips the top of the net and down. Service ace for Rachel Weber. Barely cleared the top of the net there, but it's down in open space, and the Gophers can't get anything done. 13-9. Jacks by 4 after the service ace by Weber. She's still serving. This one's going to be dug up by the Gophers and spikes sent across. Jocelyn Richardson gets an arm on it, but can't get 2, and it goes inaccurately to her left and towards the crowd. Point for the Gophers. 13-10 is the score. It's Jackrabbits by 3 in set number 3. Kate Thibault serving for the U of M. Here is Sylvie Scots with a heater across. That is a laser off the arm of Sylvie Scots. 14-10, the Jackrabbits by 4 after that spike by Sylvie. Richardson on the serve. This one sent right back by the U of M. Rachel Weber can't dig it. And the Gophs with the point. 14-11, the Jackrabbits lead by 3 in set number 3. Back to serve. Palabaik for the U of M. Weber barely digs it up. Richardson able to recover it. Schlimgen bumps across. Free ball for the U of M. Tipped across. Here is Martin setting up Scots. Sconce across to the U of M, and that one out of bounds. Last touch by the Gophers, and Jackrabbits with the point off of the error there by the U of M. It's 15-11. Jacks by 4, and it will be single season service ace record holder Riley Martin back to serve. That one's across. And the Gophers send a heater out of bounds, and the Jackrabbits awarded the point. 16-11. Good spike there by the Gophers, just a little wide to the right and out of bounds. Jackrabbits up by 5 here in set number 3. Riley Martin serving. Headed back, a tip for Riley Martin bumping up. It's Richardson to Scots. Scots finds the block and pops it up off the bounce. Off of the blockers, but that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Sylvie, so point for the Gophers. It's 16-12. The Jackrabbits up by 4 here in set number 3. Service by the Gophers. Here is Ventling Brown, who just gets it out to the left, close to that line, but again out of bounds. Ventling Brown has been dangerous on that right side, having an amazing day for the Jackrabbits. 16-13, Jacks by 3. Riley Martin bumps it up. Sconce into the blockers and out. Another spike for Sylvie Sconce results in a kill for the Jacks. 17-13, Jackrabbits by 4 here in set number 3. Sylvie Sconce back to serve for the yellow and blue. This one down and a service ace for Sylvie Scots. It's 18-13. The Jackrabbits by 5 now after the service ace. Scots still serving. This one to the back row. Popped up by the U of M, set across by Crowell. Here is Richardson to Van Igdam. Van Igdam with the spike across in the kill in open space for the Jackrabbits. 19-13, the Jackrabbits now lead this one by 6. Sylvie Socks on another run here, serving. Here is the U of M's return. Crowell into the blockers, and Martin recovers there as that one was about to touch the ground. Ventling Brown tips across. Van Igdam on the solo block. Can't keep it beyond the net. And Richardson tries for the fill recovery, but can't find anything there. Point for the Gophers. It's 19-14 as the Jackrabbits still lead this one by 5 in set number 3. Callie Ingeman serving for the U of M. That one's out the back line. 20-14 after the service error by Ingeman. And the Jacks lead by 6. Madison Burr back to serve. Burr's serve is up, clears to the back row middle. Here comes a spike into the block. It's Bile, and Bile can't get it to the Gophers side. Ends up falling right in front of her on the Jackrabbit side of the court. So a point for the Gophers. It's 20-15. The Jacks by 5. Serving now, Stella Swenson for the U of M. Sconce on the dig. Morton to Ventling Brown. Brown runs into the block of Lauren Crowell, who's been a problem all day. Crowell, 6'4" from Egan. She switched sides that time to go up against Ventling Brown on the far side. Usually she's been playing the near side. Van Igdam here. Martin sets up Bile. Bile runs to the block, recovers it on a bump, and her bump goes out of bounds to the right. The Gophers starting to come back here late in the third set. It's 20-17. The Jackrabbits lead by 3, and it's going to be head coach Dan Georgalis taking the first timeout of the set for the Jackrabbits. We'll take it with them. Be right back here in about 30 seconds on Collegiate Sports.
Support comes from the South Dakota Agricultural Heritage Museum in Brookings, inspiring a passion for the diverse history, culture, and science of agriculture in South Dakota. To learn more about exhibits and events, you can visit agmuseum.com.
Welcome back for this third set of action here in First Bank in Trust Arena as all the Jackrabbit faithful start cheering for the team after the timeout by head coach Dan Georgalis. The Gophers making a comeback here late in the third set. It's 20-17. The Jacks still lead by a comfortable 3, and the Gophers still have the serve. It's Stella Swenson. Swenson from the back line, serving now, picked up by Van Igdam. Here's Martin, sets up Taylor Bile with a spike across. Able to get it, the redshirt freshman from Sioux Falls, South Dakota with the kill. 21-17. The Jacks lead over the Golden Gophers by 4. Aaliyah Schlimgen with the serve. That's to the back row middle. Here comes a spike across, blocked up front by Van Igdam. Gophers set up another spike. That one's across. Scott's with the dig. Martin to Van Igdam. That one's a spike across. Katie Van Igdam with the kill for the Jackrabbits. It's 22-17. The Jacks by 5 now here in set number 3. Tied up at 1 set apiece. Before this, Slimgin still serving for the Jacks. This one picked up by the Golden Gophers, sent back another spike. This one comes in too fast for Scots to get under it. And a kill for the Gophs. Jacks by 4. It's 22-18 here. Number 19 for the Gophers, back serving again. Picked up by Richardson. That one's bumped right across to the Gophers. And they get a free ball. Spike across. That spike goes out of bounds on the right side, just barely. 23-18 after the point there. On the attack error by the Gophers. Jackrabbits lead by 5 here late in set number 3. Rachel Weber back behind the line serving. Weaver sends that one a little far to the right. That one's out of bounds. Service error there by Rachel Weber. 23-19. Jacks have 2 to go to win set number 3. They currently lead by 4. Kate Thibault serving for the U of M. Weber with the dig. Martin sets up. Scott sends a heater across. That's dug up by the U of M, but sent out of bounds. And the Jackrabbits get the point. It's now set point here in set number 3 for the Jacks. It's 24-19. The Jacks by 5. Jocelyn Richardson back to serve for the yellow and blue. Richardson to back middle. The Gophers send back a heater. Rachel Weber digs it up, but it's sent out of bounds. Point for the Gophers. 24-20. It's still set point for the Jacks. Here comes the serve. Weber digs it up. Here's Martin to Burr. Burr sends a hammer in, sent right back by Minnesota, and it's Zonks on the opposite side. The combo on the spike there by Sylvie Schatz, set up by Riley Martin, and the Jackrabbits take set number 3. Play into 2 sets, and the Jackrabbits get the win here against Minnesota in the exhibition game. 25-19 there at the end. The Jackrabbits defeat Minnesota here in Brookings in the spring tournament. Unbelievable turn of events here. As now head coach Dan Georgalis celebrating with his team at center. And now we get set up here for Minnesota versus Creighton. The Jackrabbits defeat the U of M 2 sets. We played a 3 here in the exhibition game. 2-1. The Gophers take set number 1, 25-18 over the Jacks. The Jacks fight back in set number 2, win it 25-22. And at the end, the Jackrabbits able to get the victory in set number 3, 25-19. SDSU able to defeat the Golden Gophers here in the spring tournament. Now the Gophers here to play Creighton. We will not have that one for you. That one will start about 12 or 1. Both teams will go back to the locker room and warm up. And then at 3 o'clock, the Jackrabbits will face off against Creighton here from Omaha. And we'll have that one for you here on Collegian Sports as well. Coming up later this month, April 16th, the Wednesday, Southwest State from Minnesota is going to be coming here to Brookings, SMSU, to play another spring game against the Jackrabbits. We'll have that for you here on Collegian Sports, so if you want to tune in for that one, you can as well. Otherwise, coming back here at 3:30 p.m. for the Creighton game, we'll have it on Collegian Sports as well. Later next month, May 3rd, Saturday, Nebraska going to be facing off against the Jackrabbits in a spring tournament in Nebraska, or Nebraska that is. Hopefully we have that for you on Collegiate Sports. I'm doing my best. I want to go out there for that one. I think that would be a very interesting game. The Jackrabbits playing that one. Composite schedule here for the Jacks. Softball going to be facing off against USD here in Brookings. You can catch that one on the Jackrabbit Sports Network at 3 today. Later this week, we have baseball against Dakota Wesleyan in Brookings at 3 p.m. Hopefully we have that for you on the Collegiate Sports Network. I'm trying to get that one acquired for you as well. Otherwise, that one will be on the Summit League Network for you. But an amazing game. The Jackrabbits able to defeat the Golden Gophers here in the spring exhibition tournament. 2-1. We'll be back for the Creighton game. Hopefully you catch that one with me at 3:30. Otherwise, as always, go big, go blue, go Jacks. I've been Ben Anderson for Collegiate Sports. It's been an honor to broadcast this one for you. Have a great day, everybody.